to Facebook Live with Judy K on Sunday at 8 p.m. And it's Sunday and it's 8 p.m. Now, the important thing is while you're watching this, you want to make sure you're watching it live or you're watching it as a review. But today is Sunday, September 20th, 2025, and the month of September went by so fast. I'm sure it is the same for you all because everyone I talk to is like, what the heck happened? But you know what? It's nice because everybody's getting back to normal and doing things after that horrible pandemic we had. And now everybody's out and enjoying life, which is a wonderful thing to see again. Hi, Joanne. So let me say this before I begin, like I do every week. Hi from Khufu and Kafra behind me. The Giza, oh my God, today, what am I doing talking? The Giza pyramids, the builder and his son. Okay. So anyway, I am live here on Facebook and I'm also live on YouTube. You can put comments in. Sometimes I can't respond to your comments during the live, but I'll be reading them later and getting back to you. Now, remember, if you do want to win one of the three people that will win a 3 tarot card pull, you do have to type that in your comments here. Don't text me privately because I don't look at my text. Except when Andrew texts me the winners' names, just put it on there. And remember, you're only allowed to ask once that you want the tarot card pull, because if you ask more than once, then you kind of get out of it this week. We can't drive. Andrew's doing a good job. We can't drive him insane. All right. But he's very good at writing it down. All right. So now we have what we are going on today is we have a really interesting subject, and I did have a few people message me with some subject matter, and I had to put that a little bit. I put it on the list, so I'll do it another day. But tonight's subject, it just fell in my lap because it happened twice in a past week and a half. So that's what we're going to be talking about. All right. Now, remember on Halloween and the tickets are all sold out, I'll be doing, and this is going to come up with the subject matter. I'm going to be doing a seance in Morristown at a very historic building. It originally was built in the late 1600s and it was added on the 1700s. We have so many different things that happened at the house. I can't wait to be there. Unfortunately, it's sold out. Let's see how it goes, and maybe they'll have me back again. Now, the next expo I'll be at is the Festival of Light in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, and that is November 8th and 9th from 10 to 5, both days. Now, I mean, it might be far for you, but I've got a lot of people in West Virginia that follow me in Virginia, and also it's closer for them. Now, if you'd like to schedule a private reading, what's a private reading? A private reading is when I can connect you with your deceased loved ones. I can give you messages from your spirit guides. All right. I do almost any subject you ask for. The only thing I cannot do is gambling purposes. Why? Because God didn't give me that gift. I wasn't born with the gift and I don't have it. And plus, I'm not interested in gambling. But anyway, but I can do anything else that you need. So come on in, call, you can't just come on in without an appointment. You can call, you can email. Andrew has my website and things. There's a contact page on the website, and you can schedule your reading. I also do past life regressions, and I also do healings. I am a Reiki healing master, and we'll be doing the healing after this show. All right. Now, psychic parties. Oh my gosh. I did another psychic party yesterday. And it was wonderful. The people there were so nice. Well, they always are so nice wherever I go. I've done a number of them the past few months, and I can come out to your location. There are some things you do need to have a minimum of 5 people. It can be gallery parties or private reading parties. I do not work outside. Okay, I'm just joking with Andrew about that. So I do work inside, and I can come to your location and do a party if you like, if you can't make it to my office. Oh, don't forget, I also do Zoom and FaceTime. What makes me laugh is I'll have somebody that lives 10 minutes from my office and they want a remote. And then I have somebody that lives in DC or New York City and they drive down to see me for a reading. It's whatever works for you, I'm fine with. Now, this week's prayer list. Carmen Tumaine, we're keeping her on the prayer list. She had, for different health treatment. We have Sandy Costner. She's been diagnosed with breast cancer. She seems to be doing a little bit better, so keep those prayers really going. Kay Rapp has still having treatment for her health issues, so well as Tara Chaffee, Tim Merrick, Dee Gusha, and Diane Lopresti. So please keep them in your prayers. They all seem to be getting a bit better, so it's working. All right. Are you ready for this week's subject? Okay. So I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. That's why I always go with my notes here. And hi, everyone. If I didn't say hi to you, I'm saying hi to you now. I will read it later and see that you were here. It always makes me happy. All right. Now, tonight's subject is, and it happened to me, well, I'm going to tell you about yesterday's. You know how we all use our map apps on our phone to get to a location, and they work pretty well. They really do. Sometimes they'll work perfect for a while, but sometimes they're a little iffy. One time I was going to a conference, and I was up in North Jersey. I was in the back of a Sears parking lot, and they said I'd reached my destination, which I didn't. It wasn't being held at Sears. So I mean, they do mess up. But actually, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to tell you something that happened to me a number of years ago. Now, where was I headed? Now, the whole thing is I had been there, and you have to remember this part. I had been there 3 previous times. I'd been there during daylight hours. I'd been there during nighttime hours. So I've driven to this area, and it was either the sun's out, the moon's out, it didn't matter. And was it a little bit out? Oh, it was a little rural, but not crazy. But what I was asked to do readings at this. It's a metaphysical church, all right, not a spiritual church, more of a metaphysical church, and it's around, I'd say, Doylestown, PA. So if you know where my office is in Cherry Hill, it's not that far. It's a ride, but it's not crazy. So anyway, I said, absolutely, I'll be there. So I left in the afternoon, and I was driving down the Schuylkill Expressway. Now, I've driven the Schuylkill Expressway just like all of you pretty much a million times, right? Well, I'm in the car, and all of a sudden, now I know where I have to go for this. I know I have to go up the Schuylkill, and I'm going to be hitting the blue route pretty soon, right? Well, it's starting to tell me to go the other way on the blue route. Can you hold on for a minute? It's little Gracie. Her hair is all messed up. She decided she had a tickle on her head, and I couldn't. Okay, on the floor. So anyway, I'm on the Schuylkill Expressway. Now, if you're not from around here, Schuylkill Expressway is a road you'll never forget once you get on it. It's fast, and it's a lot of lane change, and it's busy road. Some people hate it because they get scared of it. But I'm fine. I'm driving, and my GPS is telling me to go the wrong way. And I'm thinking, why is it doing the wrong way? Well, then a rock song was on the radio, and I like rock, but I go to change it. Well, it changes back. Now now you have to realize that is the car radio was separate. It wasn't playing off my phone. All right. So now we have 2 things. So it kept telling me to turn the wrong way, turn the wrong way. Well, then all of a sudden, with the music, I switched to music again. Well, then all of a sudden, what I have a gentleman in the car. Maybe I picked the wrong word, gentleman, but he wanted to continue to hear the rock song on the radio. So now I have the deceased man on the Schuylkill Expressway, and he's in the car, and he wants his favorite song to be played, and that's not happening. So he's fighting I'm taking it back, and it keeps going back. Now the radios don't change themselves. I mean, back in the day, I think they had some. I'm talking about probably the 70s, but they don't. So here he tells me that he got killed on that road, and he was driving a motorcycle. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but you can't change my radio. So then he's the one I've realized that's been playing with my GPS. So anyway, I get off the road, everything's fine. And now I'm on the road to get me to the church. So I turn down the road I always know. Do you know, he continued, because he was mad at me. At this point, we had been arguing. He got my car so turned around 3 times. 3 times. I had to stop and ask direction 3 times to get to the location. So sometimes, why am I telling you this story? Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes you have to see, where is the interference coming from? Okay. So what happened is because I mean, on the Schuylkill Expressway, okay, I was a little short with them, but you do have to be kind to them. I've also seen people do it, like paranormal people sometimes. They will be kind of rough with the spirit. We all lose our tempers a little bit, and that's okay. But what happens here is you have to be kind to them because you don't want to make it worse. And that's what happened. I wound up being 20 minutes late because of that. All right. Now let's get back to where I'm doing the seance. Now I've been through, now it's not Morristown up in North Jersey. This is Morristown here in South Jersey. It's Burlington County. Now, I used to go through that a lot as a kid. I had cousins that lived there and everything. So when I went to get there, I didn't know where the street was, but my GPS took it perfectly there. And I turned around and I went to get another parking spot. And then things got turned around and got turned around and got turned around. But when I got out of the car, finally, when I got a parking spot, you should have seen the spirits were right there on top of me. The information that I got from that house is unbelievable. It's very, very, very historic. And you know how many times I passed that street and didn't realize what an historic house that was? They actually go through so many different sections. Now, I really only got the ones from the 1700s mostly while I was in there. But what you have to understand is the spirits sometimes bring confusion. Now, when I got lost a couple times around there, it really wasn't the spirit's fault. What it was so much spirit activity. Okay. Spirit activity can get you off kilt like this. And you're thinking a little bit off. So that was accidental. All right. But this happened. So realize that sometimes when you get lost, it's not your fault. Okay. And I know this was a small subject, but I thought I really have to explain this to you so you understand. So, what I should have done on the Schuylkill Expressway is let him hear a song. I should have let him hear a song. Now, why did he do that to me? Because he knew I could understand him. He knew he had an ear that could hear him. But because it was a Schuylkill, and I'm going back. This has got to be 14 years ago. And when I was thinking about talking about this, I thought I have to tell you that time. But you just, I should have been kind to him, and I didn't. And I'll tell you, say if you have a deceased person in your house, I'll say tell them to leave, get out, and things like that. And that's fine to talk to them like that. But this time I should have been nicer. All right. So remember, if you have any stories or little topics you'd like me to talk about, just you can send me a private message, an email, or a text to 856-725-3588, and I'll put that on my list if I don't speak about it that day. That day. All right. So let's do the tarot card pool. Let's see who the winners are. Melissa Frederick, you're a winner. Let me write this down. Laura Franklin. Oh, we got a couple F's here today. And I have Jenny Angstadt. Jenny Angstadt. Okay, Angstadt. Now you're the three winners. What you need to do is text, put in the comments one word if you want romance, finances, general, health, whatever you want. You ask, and that's what I'll do the cards on. Now I do have to hear from you. If you don't type in the comments what you want, I'm not doing a reading that you're not present for. So you do have to be present for your reading. All right. So let's see. So we need to hear from Melissa Frederick, Laura Frank. Oh boy, this is why I look back, because I totally annihilated. Oh, wait a minute. Laura Franklin. Okay. Laura Franklin and Jenny Angstadt. Okay. Do we hear from any of them in the comments? Melissa Frederick would like finances. Sure. Let's see if I can get somebody else to answer before I get started. Oh, Jenny Angstedt would like general. And I need to hear from Melissa Frederick. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Melissa Frederick. Okay, I'm sorry. I got that messed up. Melissa Frederick, you want finances. Okay. And it's Laura Franklin. I have to look for. Well, I'm going to get started. And if I miss the comment, I'll look back and somebody will remind me and tell me. And don't forget, we do the healing right after that. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, Melissa Frederick, Spirit's telling me to do you first. So here we go, honey, with your finances. Okay. Oh, Melissa. All right. Melissa, it shows you're strong, but you have the Queen of Swords first. And I love the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords can be strong when she needs to be strong, but sometimes you're feeling like you're holding everything together by yourself. Okay. So you've been very strong about this. But the next card you got is the Two of Wands, which means negotiation, trying to negotiate things. Now, negotiations doesn't always mean to making a trade about something, but you're trying to negotiate a way around this to make it work. But you're going to have to be careful because the next card I got for you is the Ace of Swords. Now, that does not have to be bad. That can be a very good card. What it's telling you is you got to stay strong to your roots on this. Stay strong to your roots on finances. So how you think it should have gone and how you expect the things to go, stay strong with that. But you're not through the woods yet. So hold on. I'm gonna ask Spirit for one more card for this. Okay. So what Spirit got me then is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is fight for it, for your finances. Fight for your finances. Okay. And you can't say it better than these. Queen of Swords, Two of Wands is not a fighting card, but it's a negotiation card. And then you have the Ace of Swords followed by the Knight of Swords. So, girl, fight for your finances. All right. Next one I have is Jenny Angsat. All right. And we still haven't heard from you, Laura Franklin. You'll miss your turn if you don't get back to us soon. Don't do that. Okay. Jenny, let me do general for you. You did get an extra card. I looked and I did pick up two um, by accident. Okay, so what we have here for Jenny. Oh, you're welcome, Melissa. You have the Seven of Swords, followed by the Sun, followed by the Eight of Wands, and the King of Wands. So, for general, what you have here is you're looking over your situation. Your situation looks like it's handled pretty good. Handled pretty good. But you still have to work towards it a little bit more, okay? But you're going to have this man come in. Now, the King of Wands, I didn't say not meant to say king. The King of Wands is one. I like all the kings, don't get me wrong. They all the kings in the deck have wonderful things about them. The King of Wands, though, the one thing I like about him, he thinks with his head and his heart. You can have somebody that just thinks with their head, okay? And you can have somebody else that just thinks with the heart. But this King of Wands is 50-50. So you're going to have a helper come in. Now, the helper might already come in. Now, realize I'm only reading with three, but you got a lucky four card pull. All right. So just remember, you're not going to be alone in this. Everything's going to be fine. But you can just your situation, you got the Sun, and just keep going forward. It's not you have to fight. You don't have to fight like I just told Melissa. You don't have to fight for it. Just let things but progress. But they're going to have a helper. So they're not showing me if this helper's already in the situation or he's new coming in. Because as I said, I'm not doing a full layout for you. Okay. Full layout tarot cards I do in my office. All right. But for now, you got this. So I'm not worried about you. All right. Let's put it this way. Things are going to be fine. All right, Jenny. All right. We haven't heard. We haven't heard from our other winner. So we're going to go into doing our healing. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have been here during the healing before. You can also watch the healing when it's not live. You'll still get something from it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do loosey-goosey because we need the blood to flow. You can't stiffen up. Loosey-goosey. And I'm getting my hands ready to send to you. And I just want you to sit there and relax. If you close your eyes, you'll get so much more out of it than if you leave your eyes open. But if you want to keep your eyes open, that's fine too. All right, here we go. All right. And inhale. and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Push it out. Push it out. Keep going. Push it out. And relax. Okay. Somebody's son who passed is coming in, and he wasn't that old. I have somebody's son, and that happens sometimes during my healings when I do healings, on my lives. But and when it does, that spirit wants it. So he's coming in, and he's coming in here to give his mom a hug. Okay, he's here to give his mom a hug. And everyone, just inhale and exhale. Okay, let's get into the healing for you now. Somebody's having trouble with their thighs, and it looks like to me upper thighs. The upper thighs look swollen, where I do believe it really could be a lot of water weight, but that's not the only problem going on. Spirit's trying to heal, trying to get through to you that you do have to move. Okay, Spirit's saying you do have to move a bit. You don't have to move a lot, but this is the upper thigh area, and definitely a woman. Okay, so move those thighs when you can, and just for a short amount of time. But just as I say, it's like you just got to get the blood flowing a little bit. And then they also explained to me too that they want you to do it laying or sitting down and not standing up. Okay, and they're trying to push the water down. Okay, all right, that's good. All right. Spirit's telling me somebody that has a bird. Now, I don't know if this is an indoor bird or an outside bird, but the bird is speaking to them. They're saying, pay attention to the bird. Now, of course, you're not going to understand the tweet, 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 but listen with your heart what the bird is saying. This is a visitation from Spirit for you. I feel like it's on the right side of the person, the right side. So if the bird is outside, you'll hear it from your right side being near that area. Sometimes it can happen even when, sometimes I've had it where actually I was driving and I had two crows talking to me right there as I was taking an exit. So listen to those birds, what they're saying. And they're saying you're not alone. That is the message. You are not alone. All right. Spirit's giving everyone the peace that we all need to start a new week. Okay. Again, now let's inhale and push all that out in your exhale. And thank you for joining in. I forgot to mention John. He's down the hallway. I forgot to mention Andrew. He's doing his magic in another location and everything. And I thank them both for being here. And I thank you all for being here. And I will see you next Sunday. Okay. Now remember, when you get lost, it might not be your fault. All right. Take care. Bye for now.